This is the fifth and final video I'm going to do about hoarding. And today we're going to talk about what to do if you have a friend, family member, or spouse who is a hoarder. So first let's talk about if it's your spouse that you're living with and they're a hoarder. You're not going to like this, but you basically have to draw a line in the sand. You're either going to live with them in that hoard or you're going to get out. You have to make a decision about your own physical and mental health. And then you have to act on that. You're probably not going to change them. In fact, I'm going to bet that you can't change them. You've probably tried numerous times and numerous things. So draw a line in the sand. Decide, this is your life. Either you're going to live there and deal with it, or you're going to get out. I'm sorry, that's what it boils down to. Now, if you are dealing with a different family member or a friend who's a hoarder, stop fighting with them. They're not rational about it. You're not going to get anywhere. As I told you in the first video, you are trying to, by taking the stuff away, you are ripping the Band-Aid off their hurt. And all you're going to do is hurt them more or make them angry. So stop fighting with them. Just stop. For starters, it's not up to you how they live your life. Okay? If they want to live that way, it's their life and that's their option. Just because you live in a nice clean house that's nice and neat doesn't mean your friend has to. So stop fighting with them. Stop trying to tell them what to do. Stop offering your help. Be supportive, okay? Get them out of the house if at all possible. Maybe get them involved in some activities. Certainly if you can, get them into therapy because that's what they need in order to stop hoarding. But yeah, stop projecting onto them what your value system is. If you do have a family member who you suspect is a hoarder or you know is a hoarder and they've stopped letting you in the house, don't let them do that. Come over to the house and just say, no, I'm coming in the house. I want to see what's going on. Go in and look. And then you have to decide if this is something where we're talking serious like level 4 or 5 hoards, even level 3 hoards where, the house is starting to be in disrepair, bathroom sinks aren't working, there's bugs, there's rodents, then you need to make a decision. You're either going to stand up and report them and get them some help, or you're going to just walk away from the situation. Now, walking away from the situation, you have to live with the fact that if something happens to them because you walked away, are you ready to do that? Because if you stand up, you're going to anger a lot of people. You're going to anger them. You may anger family members. You may have people who never speak to you again. So you have to decide, well, can I live with people not talking to me, but I did something to help? Or can I live with the fact that I didn't do anything and then, oh my gosh, they died in the house alone, or the firemen couldn't get them out when they had a health emergency, or the place burned down around them? Because that's kind of what it boils down to. Now, if you're going to report them, who do you report them to? Okay, well, you can go to there's usually a local health department you can report them to, code enforcement agency, and of course, adult protective services if you feel that someone's health is imminently a problem, like they have health issues and they can't get out of the house or they're going to fall and hurt themselves. But report them because that's the only way they're going to get the professional help that they need. Because someone who's a serious hoarder, they need a mental health professional and they need other professionals to help them. And it's not just a matter of like, okay, someone has a health issue, okay, so now they have to go to a retirement home or a nursing home, everything's going to be better. At the retirement home that my mother-in-law was at, the staff came through every 9 months and inspected every unit because they had people who were hoarders. It's not like you take the person out of the hoard and the hoard goes away. The hoarder is the person. So regardless of where they are, they're still going to hoard. And for those of you who have parents, because I've been in that boat, I'm going to tell you right now, get yourself a folder and start putting notes in it. If you hear someone talking about an antique dealer who was helpful to them, get the name and number, get the business card, put it in the folder. An auctioneer. If you see something in the newspaper about a consignment shop, cut that out, put it in the folder. Anybody that can be a resource for you, a hauling company, a professional organizer, someone who deals with hoarders, just start getting yourself a file so that when the time comes that your parent passes, you have the resources ready to deal with the problem. Because you're just going to be banging your head against a wall. I've been down this road. You just get nowhere. The other option is if you go in with a plan. Like I said, some of my seniors have hoarding tendencies. what you need to do is go in and say, hey, I can help you, or I found this person who can help you. We can go ahead and, look at some retirement communities where you can move, or maybe an apartment that's easier for you to take care of than this house. I have people who can help you clean out. I have people who can help you move. Put a plan in place, because if you just say, look, you need to do this, they don't know how to handle that. They don't know who to contact. They don't have a plan. So have a plan. I know with my parents, I had taken them to retirement communities before COVID hit. I was trying to get them to think in those terms. And of course, Dad said, no way. But then we'd already visited those places. So when he died of COVID in 2021, I said to Mom, I said, this is where you visited. This was the one you liked. Let's call them. And we called them. We set her up with an apartment. I got her packed and I got her moved. So anything you can do to precipitate a plan, to kind of get them thinking in those terms, have a plan. Help them out that way. But don't just expect them to do it, because honestly, they have no clue. They don't have the energy. They don't know where to start. So either have a plan and help them with that, or you start making a plan so that when the time comes and yours to deal with, that they have a health issue and suddenly they have to go to a nursing home and you're left to clean out the house, you've got people lined up that you know of, that you've heard of, that can help you facilitate that move. So I hope this series has been helpful for all of you. I know it's been a lot of information. I know this video in particular is not one you wanted to hear, but don't bang your head against a wall. Stop fighting with people about their hoards. Just stop, because you're not going to get anywhere. I'm sorry, you're just not going to get anywhere.